Oh
There's
boy.
big news out of Washington. Representative Buddy Carter says he's nominating President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize after Trump announced a landmark deal to end the Israel Hamas war. Trump's claiming the first phase will see all hostages released and Israeli troops pulled back to an agreed line. That's no small development, Mike. So, but the question is, should this agreement and Trump's role in it be considered Nobel Peace Prize worthy?
Um, I want one of our listeners out there that's on the left to write in and say that they think that he should be nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize because I'm going to eat my dirty underwear at some point here because I have a feeling that one of my most hated politicians in Hillary Clinton, I have a feeling she's going to come through and nominate him. Yeah, because I hate
Wait
to
a minute,
say
say that
this.
again.
I
What?
think Hillary Clinton's going to nominate him for. She said that. Remember, she was in an interview that said if he can bring peace, a peace accord with Gaza and Israel and Ukraine, and she's going to nominate Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. I fucking think she's gonna, and I
Wow.
think she's gonna.
Wow.
And I got to tell you, if Hillary Clinton does that, then
It's
I think there's a
over.
lot of general public left wing people out there that are going to be on the wrong side of history because I think that, as much as you hate him, as much as he's a narcissist, as much as he probably does a lot of things that are not peace worthy, I think in this case, I think he was the guy instrumental for pulling them together. Yeah, I do.
Well, if that happens, you need to go buy a bunch of wood and a good coat because hell is about to freeze over.
That's right.
I cannot see that, bro. That I can't see that at all.
Well,
No,
let's see.
she is as liberal as they get. That
I get it.
she
You know
ain't
what? You know
gonna.
who else I used to. Who else I couldn't stand, and I never understood how they elected him, and who's turned out to be somewhat normal was Fetterman in Pennsylvania. Like I couldn't believe they elected this guy. He could barely even speak, and he was like crazy. Had some crazy left wing ideas, and yet he's the only guy this week that voted to pass the freaking budget and not close the government. He like all of a sudden he's like somewhere in the. He actually said today that he thinks Trump should get the Nobel Peace Prize.
So, Mike, but you kind of scooted around. I'm asking you, should he be considered for the Nobel
Yes,
Peace Prize?
for that, yes.
I'm going to take it a step further. If this goes into fruition, he should be like what do they call it in the Heisman when everybody votes for you? Whatever ballot it should be. He should
Oh
get a
yeah,
hundred. He should get 100% of the vote. This
yeah. The
should be a
perfect ballot.
slam dunk
Yep.
automatic. That you brought peace to something that's been going on for thousands of years. Some people say hundreds. You pick whichever one. That's still
Yeah.
amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It should just be automatic. And here's the contrast to that. Obama won a Nobel Peace Prize during the same exact time he was getting ready for war.
Yep.
And he became known for how many people he used drones on. He was called the drone president. He
Yep.
was the one who in the whole world was the first leader in the whole world to take drones and just go around killing people. He killed
Yep.
his own people. He killed an actual US citizen with a drone.
Mm-hmm.
So if he got it, he should be a shoe in.
Yep. I think based on what I'm seeing from the people that are intelligent and like we said earlier, world traveled like Obama. Um, I think that they are going to support it. I think that who the people are not going to support it are the people that are responsible for Trump being in power, and that would be the average liberal American. They're not going to support that. But they're the reason that Trump's where he is, because I firmly believe that Trump wouldn't be the president right now if it wasn't for the liberals.
Now, there's another option out there that I'm not hearing anybody talk about, Mike. What if they get all of the hostages back and then just blow them up? I think the only reason why they've survived this long is because they still had the hostages. Once they give them hostages up, it's over.
Well, let's be honest with this. So this is going to be interesting. This peace accord is going to be challenging because I don't think anybody can be trusted on either side.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's going for it is that you've got the entire world looking on and to some extent now involved, because I think virtually everybody that's anybody of importance flew into Egypt at this point and got involved in this negotiation thing. But Trump is now claiming that the hostages are going to be released on Monday or Tuesday. He actually just announced that he's planning on traveling to the Middle East, I think, to be a part of the signing. So that this is, I don't. This is going to be underplayed news, and the reason it's going to be underplayed news is because the media is still largely controlled by the left. The left, I saw some memes this morning on TikTok already where they were like, people have been fighting against the war and everything, and now they're saying that Trump got it done, and they're like, please fail, please fail, please fail.
So could this actually change Trump's image on the world stage?
I think it changes it on the world stage. I don't think it changes it on the home stage.
I understand. So, Mike, you were mentioning how I forgot what you said. You were saying something about different places. Oh, about the world leaders, flying back and forth. This is an observation that I have no stats or facts to back up. So tell me, are you seeing the same thing? I can't recall a time in world history ever where in a 6-month period, there were so many world leaders traveling back and forth. It's
No.
unusual for them to get on a plane and cross borders.
And most of it's because of Trump.
I mean, there's been a lot of big meetings, a lot of big leaders and tyrants and dictators and kings and queens, and they've been flying around like I've never, or maybe they just don't report it. I've never heard of these many meetings and flying around.
I think it's not an illusion. I think it actually is happening, and I think it's largely because the world has. I mean, I'm going to go on record here and say that I know we've argued about this on the podcast before, but I think that Trump is on the world stage has become even more powerful than he was before, and I think he's largely moving them around like chess pieces to some extent.
I agree with that, but I also think I definitely agree with everything you said. But on the flip side too, I think some of this is these countries are seeing a potential power shift, and they're going back and forth figuring out, okay, should I stick with my allies? Should I go with this new surge toward China and India? Should I stay neutral? These smaller leaders are trying to figure out where they stand in all of this.
Well, and this particularly thing with Gaza and Israel is way greater than that, because you got to remember a lot of the world just is voted to recognize a Palestinian state, which we know is not going to be Hamas, and we know it's unlikely to be Gaza. Where it is, God knows, because even basically the Arab states don't agree with it. But they're all looking
they walked
on.
out on Netanyahu when he was talking at the
That's
UN.
right.
Everybody walked out.
Yep.
Nobody's rolling with Israel like that no more.
That's right. However, because Trump got him to the table and got him to sign this peace deal, they might be able to make their way back slowly.
And I'm going to have to do a little research and thinking about it. But for a victory, there's always a loser. So there's somebody, there's some entity, there's some region, there's some leader who totally don't want this war to end. They don't want a ceasefire. They don't want peace. So I
Well,
could
if you ask me,
potentially,
that would be Israel.
well, I mean beyond the actual players.
Okay.
And I could literally see some form of psyops coming in the next 6 months. I hope I'm wrong on this prediction, but I could see some kind of terrorist event and we can't figure out who it is, or conveniently all the evidence points toward someone. Everybody's not for this, and
No, for sure.
they have the resources to cause an issue.
I'm not sure that most of the Arab world is in favor of this, to be honest with you, because they, although
That ain't what I've been hearing.
they don't like Israel, but they also are not big fans of Hamas or the Palestinians. So, you know, Israel was doing a job for them, meaning getting rid of the Palestinians. And although they're not buddies with Israel, they were kind of turning a blind eye to it.
So this is what I've been hearing from Arab people, Mike, and that's a very, 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 very small portion of people. Three.
Yep.
They've been saying almost identical to what you said, but what they've also been saying is we could exterminate Hamas. We can't fight with Israel, partly because of nuclear and their military,
Right.
but also because of their alliance to America. So if we can extinguish Israel, we'd rather do that and then worry about the Palestinians later.
Yep. That's true. Yeah.
And
but
that
that's
makes
another
sense to
reason.
me too.
Yeah, it makes sense, but it's also another reason why they wouldn't want this to end, because the longer it goes on, Israel becomes more and more unpopular. So
Oh,
they're
I agree
losing
with
world
that.
support, you know?
Yes. Hmm. So, Mike, have we
Woo!
missed anything?
Oh, we always miss something, but we covered the two major topics, which was Hamas and Taylor Swift.
Absolutely. All right, guys. You know what I'm going to say. Tread lightly, stay safe,
And we'll
and
see you
hopefully
here at some point next week.